What's up, everybody? Welcome to another session of Tony Talks. As you guys know, I'm here in Bermuda, and one of my favorite things to do is to come out in the backyard of where I'm staying and enjoy this beautiful scenery. This is one of my very favorite things to do. Like, I love the water. I can't swim, but I love the water. I love being around the water. Most water signs love water. If you're Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, you probably definitely enjoy being around the water. And it's very therapeutic for us, because I believe it does represent a lot of the things on the inside of us. We are very sensitive, very emotional, and of course water is very sensitive and full of emotion. These waves are emotional. The water is very sensitive just by the touch of the wind. The wind is invisible. You cannot see the wind, you can only feel the wind. And it's amazing how something that can't be seen and something that you really can't physically touch can touch you, and yet it can still move the water. But I really feel like when I'm out here, I can really become one with the universe, one with God, and with nature. I know a lot of people have been asking me about my Buddhist journey, and a lot of people were concerned about my Christianity, because I was raised in a Christian church, and it's just like, I want to be more spiritual. I want to be closer to God, and I am searching for a deeper meaning in life. And I think when you are on a journey to experience God, you can't really say where God's going to show up, and the thing about Buddhism is, Buddhism is not asking you to convert to anything. Buddhism is just saying embrace everything. You can still embrace Christianity. There are plenty of aspects of Christianity that are still near and dear to my heart. And in fact, I incorporate it with Buddhism. I think as people and spiritual beings, we cannot limit our spirituality. Anything that brings you closer to God is a good thing. Buddhism is not violent. It's not selfish. It's not self-serving. And it's not about self. It's not about self. It's really about others. It's about loving others. And it's positive. It's very positive, I don't take it as a religion, because I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in religion, just like Jesus. I am against religion, but I don't limit God, and I don't limit spirituality. I don't limit how one can become spiritual. What does it mean to be spiritual? Being spiritual does not require a routineness. It doesn't require tradition. It doesn't require you to do the same functions on a repetitive basis. Like in Christianity, you got to go to church every Sunday. You got to go to church in the morning. You got to go to church in the evening. You got to go to Wednesday night Bible study. You got to go to, Thursday night prayer and worship and all that. you know, all these different things. You know, spirituality is, you can be spiritual anywhere. You know, I could be spiritual in a cave. I can be spiritual out here. I can be spiritual in my bedroom. But spirituality is not limited to a doctrine. You know, you don't have to be Baptist. You don't have to be Pentecostal holiness. You don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to be any of these things. You know, spirituality is free. It's supposed to be open, and you express yourself to God. Well, I don't believe God works or deals with us all the same, because, you know, we are all individuals. You know, we have individuality, and, you know, what works for one person may not work for the next person. You know, but I don't push away knowledge and wisdom. You know, there's more knowledge and wisdom in the world than just the Bible. You know, and I had to come to the realization of that, because I once believed that, you know, spirituality had to come from one source, but that's just not true. That's just not true. You know, spirituality can come from many sources, but the key thing is, don't hurt anyone, don't bring harm to anyone, don't bring hurt or harm to any creatures or any of God's living things. You know, and as long as you do that, you can do anything you want to do to be, you know, close to God. And I know at one point in time in my life, I knew that there had to be more to us as human beings than what we pretty much were taught, or what we were told, or what we were used to practicing. And so I'll embrace anything that brings me closer to God. You know, it's all about loving and caring for each other, and embracing each other. And that's why God put us all here on the earth for, you know, was to love and to care for each other. Not to fight, not to kill and destroy each other. That's not God. You know, God is free. God is freedom. God is about being free and having freedom. So one of the viewers asked me the other day, you know, Tony, how do you know that you are on the right path in life? You know, how do you know you're headed in the right direction? You know, how do you know that you are reaching your destination, reaching your full potential? You know, how do you know that you're doing the right thing in life, that you are serving your purpose? You know, because I do believe that we all have some type of purpose in life. You know, some will be greater than others, but we all have a purpose in life. We all have, you know, a meaning. Life has a meaning for each one of us. But how do you know you are on the right path? And I know for me, my personal journey, I don't know, I have a lot of dreams. And so in my dreams, I've been fortunate enough to get clues. You know, and these clues let me know, you know, what I should be doing or where I should be going, and what's next in my life. And there was like a couple of months ago, I had this dream where I walked into a closet, and the closet was completely empty, and there was a clothesline in the closet with a sheet hanging from it, and the sun was really, really bright. And I really didn't understand what that dream meant until actually I got here, the minute I got here and I got to the house, I walked out the door and there was a clothesline. There was a clothesline right there. So I had to dream about the clothesline before I even saw the clothesline before I got here. You know, and that's how I know that, you know, I'm supposed to be here. And sometimes, you know, in life, you just have to go with the flow. And you can't push away things that come to you. You know, you can't push away people that come to you because they may be in your life for a reason. You know, you may be introduced to something in your life for a reason. You know, and you have to be open and receptive, and you have to embrace the things that life presents you, and whatever form it comes in, you have to just embrace it. And you know, when I got here, the person that I'm actually staying with for now, they introduced me to Buddhism. And you know, I've prayed and I asked God that I want to know the meaning of life. I want to know the truth of life. I want to know what life means, what life is all about, you know. And this person, you know, introduced me to Buddhism, and I don't push anything away because that could be God giving me something that I need, you know, a new wisdom, a newfound knowledge, a newfound understanding. And that's why I've embraced it. And ever since I have embraced it, you know, I feel freer. I feel my mind's clearer. I'm not afraid anymore. I can hug people. I can embrace people, you know, even more now than in the past. You know, I'm not bound by anything. So in life, you can't always push away things that you've never heard before, or things that are foreign to you, or things that may not necessarily align with what you have been taught. You can't push those things away because God could be in that. You know, and I just hate when, especially Christians, people that go to church folks, Pentecostal, Holiness, Baptist, all those types of, those different branches of Christianity. It just kind of bothers me when people say, oh no, you shouldn't do that. You should stay away from that, as if Christianity is the only way to get to God, or as if Christianity is, you know, the pathway to understanding the meaning of life. You know, if you truly want to know what life means and you truly want to understand what life is all about, you really have to be open and receptive to all things. You can't close your ears or close your eyes to things that you've never heard, because that's like the point, you know. If you want to know the true meaning of life, if you want to know what life is all about, of course you're going to hear some shit that you never heard before. I mean, that's the whole point of the journey, you know. So when things present themselves to you, don't push it away because it doesn't align with anything that you've ever heard. You know, it's just like, maybe say a year and a half ago, I met a woman named Monique, and she introduced me to constellation mapping. And as you guys know, I've talked a lot about the constellations. We call them the signs. Some people like to refer to them as the zodiac, you know, but it's the constellations, you know, constellation mapping. And it gave me a deeper understanding of myself. It gave me a deeper understanding of people. And yeah, when I first started listening to it, my immediate reaction was to push it away because it did not align with the Bible or anything that I had ever heard. And but I had to stop myself, and I had to say, well, wait a minute, you know, I have asked God in the past, you know, to enlighten me. to give me, you know, this information that I'm seeking. And so I listened, and it changed my life. Like, it really changed my life. I understood me. I understood why I did the things that I did. I understood my parents more. I understood, you know, my friends more. I understood, you know, the dynamics of relationships. You know, it helped me to stop wasting my time with relationships that weren't going to go anywhere. You know, it helped me to identify people that are hurting. You know, it helped me to identify people that, you know, are damaged. And so had I not embraced that, I would have still been the mess that I was in before, you know, I received this information. And so, you know, that's just one level. And then, you know, as God continued to work with me on that, it's like you got to go to the next level. And the next level for me would be Buddhism. You know, one day I heard the chanting going on, and I was curious. I wanted to know, you know, what is Buddhism? You know, what is Buddhism all about? And so, you know, Buddhism is like scrubbing your spirit. It's like cleaning the inside of you, you know. It's like a laxative. It's like a spiritual laxative. So that's kind of like what Buddhism is. Buddhism is like a spiritual bath. It's like a spiritual scrub, like a laxative. It's the spiritual laxative of life, I would like to call it. You know, it cleanses you. You know, it opens your mind. It clears your mind. It cleanses your mind. It cleanses your thoughts. You know, and then you begin to manifest, you know, good things. You change the vibrations, you know, because that's what this life is all about. It's all about vibrations. It's all about energy. It's all about chemistry, you know. So how do you do that? You know, we do that by chanting. You know, and chanting is no different from speaking in tongues. Chanting is no different from praying. It's just a different form of prayer. It's just a different form of reaching out to God and the universe, you know. And the beautiful part about Buddhism is you are supposed to help others in their spiritual journey. You know, you're supposed to embrace others and bring them in so they too can be healed, and so they too can walk a better life, or walk a better journey, and obtain the things that they want to obtain in life. You know, you're supposed to share. You know, sharing is caring. And in Buddhism, if you don't share, and if you don't enlighten others, then you truly are not being what God wants you to be, and you're not doing what God wants you to do. You know, because there's so many people out there in the world that are hurt. There's so many people out there in the world that are lost, you know, and it's selfish and unfair for me and for anyone to keep you know, knowledge and understanding of life just to ourselves. It's selfish for us to just obtain all the things that we want to obtain in our lives and not share that with others. So really, that's just what I'm doing. I'm just sharing my personal journey with other people to try to help them, you know, because somebody has shared their experience and their journey, you know, with me, and I know how it has impacted my life, you know, because before I was lost, I was confused, like I said, I was fearful, I was shy, I had no confidence. And now look at me, you know, I'm venturing out, my confidence level is up, you know, I feel like I can do things that I couldn't do before, and I'm able to do things that I was not able to do before. And I trust God more. And I trust God more, you know. So now, you know, I don't have a problem with stepping out on faith and, you know, trying to do the things that are meaningful in my life. And, you know, when you start a spiritual journey, you have to let some things go. You know, if you have a love of money, you have to let the love of money go. You know, if you have an addiction to sex, you know, you gotta let that go. Because sex isn't everything. And a lot of people are empty inside. I was empty inside at one point in time. You know, I was filled with hatred, with regret. And I don't have to live like that, and you don't have to live like that either, you know. And hey, you know, if you don't want to embrace Buddhism, if you don't want to hear what Buddhism is about, that's cool, that's fine, you know. Maybe Christianity is, you know, the one thing for you. I don't think you're gonna get very far, but you know, because that's just one aspect to spirituality. That's just one aspect of reaching Christ, you know. But what about all the other things out there? You know, there's more wisdom and more knowledge out there than just in the Bible. If that was the case, then God would just only have one book for the whole entire world to read, you know. And then, you know, you have to think about it, you know, like even in the Muslim religion, you know, Christianity piggybacks off the Muslim religion. You know, and we're not saying anything's wrong with being a Muslim. We're not saying anything's wrong with being a Christian. We're not saying anything's wrong with Confucianism, you know. But I think more people should be just more open to other aspects than just one thing. A variety, you know. And you can incorporate them all in your life. You can take bits and pieces of this, bits and pieces of that, and you know, if it agrees with you on the inside, then do that. Because I really don't believe we're all going to reach, you know, our higher level of consciousness the same. You know, we all are on a journey, but not the same journey. So I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think about spirituality. I want to know what you guys, how you guys feel about, you know, embracing other, not religions, but other forms of information about spirituality and reaching that higher level of consciousness